Hello beautiful people of the internet, Cody aka Buglies here, bringing you a brand new video. And today I thought it'd be fun to kind of do a behind the scenes, a little BTS if you will, of some of the main gear that I use to produce these videos and to do all my live streams. And if that's something you're interested in, be sure to stick around for the rest of the video. So I should probably start out by saying that this isn't going to be any kind of guide on how to set up a video like this or streams like I do. I just kind of wanted to give you a look behind the curtain and see what gear I use and how I use it to get the end product that I do. And at the heart of it all is my camera, the Canon M50. So I've had this camera going on about 3 years now and I have absolutely loved it. Up until recently, I've only been really using it for photography. Video has been more of a new thing for me with the channel, but I have dabbled in it a little bit, and it has very good video capabilities. One of the reasons I went with this camera specifically is because it was more built to be a beginner-friendly camera, so I was able to kind of jump in and learn it a lot easier, but it does have some amazing things going for it. The Canon color science is just beautiful. It really brings out the natural skin tones and other colors and stuff. I'm not good with words. It also has Canon's dual pixel autofocus, which just makes pulling focus a breeze, and it's able to keep track while you're in video. I don't even have to worry about it. I just set it and I know it's going to keep locked on my face. So one of the best upgrades I've done to this camera for absolutely free was adding the CineStyle profile into the camera. Now Canon standard profiles are still really good. Their color science is great, it looks great with skin tone, but I wanted a little more flexibility when it came to video. What this profile does is it simulates a log profile that higher end cinema cameras will have. Basically what a log profile does is retains a lot more of the exposure and color settings in all of the highlights and the shadows so that you can adjust the exposure and color more to your liking in post-production. Now, out of the camera, it looks kind of like crap. It's kind of washed out, not very pretty or anything, but then you're able to adjust all your levels and get a more cinematic style that you might be looking for. Now, putting all that praise I just gave this camera aside, starting to do more videos and live streams have really shown the cons of this camera. The first con that I have against it is when it comes to making videos, it has a 30-minute record limit. And this isn't a knock at this camera per se, this is across the line on the Canon cameras. They all have a 30-minute recording limit, which to be said is not the worst thing in the world. It's just a matter of keeping track of the timer that's shown on the screen and restarting the recording when it's done. But it really becomes inconvenient if I'm trying to do gameplay and record facecam at the same time. Then I have to focus on the game and focus on the timer, which again is not the worst thing in the world, it's just kind of more of an inconvenience. So that's my bug with the recording. Now when we look at the live streaming, I do use this camera as my webcam, but it's not the easiest. This camera does not have the option to send a clean HDMI out to a capture card. So basically what that means is if I take my camera and try and plug it into an HDMI capture card, it would have all of my exposure information on the screen just embedded into the video, which is not pleasant and I would not like. Early on in 2020, Canon released a little piece of software called EOS Webcam Utility, and this allows you to take any of your Canon DSLRs or mirrorless cameras and hook them up to your computer via USB and use them as a webcam, but it only outputs a 570p signal. Which again is not the end of the world because you're more often than not going to be watching a Twitch stream on your phone where my webcam is probably going to be about that big and you probably wouldn't notice, but if you're watching on a big screen, it's something that you would see, and I can see it in my OBS display. Now it's worth noting that Canon did release an M50 Mark II that does have a clean HDMI out, but they only released that last year. Sadly, I still have the original that does not do that. So those were my two main gripes with the camera. Other than that, like I said, I love it. The autofocus is great, the coloring, it's a tiny camera, so it's easy to just throw in a bag with a couple lenses and go out on a day-long shoot. All in all, I still do love this camera. And now let's talk about what I do for my audio capturing. Right now, you are hearing me through a shotgun mic that is set up just up out of frame where you can't see it, but it's pointed down, capturing my audio. The shotgun that I use is the Newer NW81. Now, it is by no stretch of the imagination the greatest thing you can find on the world. You can get it for about 30 bucks on Amazon right now. But it was a nice entry point into letting me try out shotguns, and to be honest, it doesn't sound that bad. If my room were a little more acoustically treated, it would honestly sound a lot better. But that's the mic that I use when I'm doing video. When I'm live streaming, I'm using my Rode Pod mic. It is a very good dynamic microphone. Being a dynamic mic, it is able to capture less background audio than a large diaphragm condenser or shotgun would, while also retaining a lot of clarity within your voice. So those are the mics I'm primarily using when I'm recording videos and doing my live streams. Occasionally, maybe every few months, I will swap out the pod mic with my Audio-Technica AT2020 that I have. That is an amazing sounding large diaphragm condenser microphone. I have had that thing for a few years and I absolutely love it. I swear by that thing. But now, let's talk about lighting. This is where I really geek out. No, I geek out over all this. I love this stuff. Now I say I geek out about all this, but my lighting setup is very jank. So my main light, my key light that I have is a softbox that I built probably about 3 or 4 years ago using some plywood, cardboard, and a few light bulbs, and it works. It's a large, soft source of light that honestly looks really good. That being said, it's also not the most versatile because it's hanging on the wall by a few nails. That means I couldn't take it and clamp it down on a C-stand and use it for different angles or anything. It's stuck right here above my monitor. And don't worry, it only gets more redneck from there. My kicker light that I have isn't even made for videography. This thing came out of a photo box that I have, and I just found that it works pretty well as a kicker light. It's just got some harsh LEDs that kind of add a defined line right here to help me stand out from the background, and you know, it works. I have it Velcro strapped to the side of a C-stand so that it doesn't fall over because it's made to hang in the box, not mount on anything else. Also attached to that stand, I have a little Viltrox LED light that I'm just using to kind of fill the background a little bit. Nothing too crazy there. I also have a little RGB light I just got. It might be a little hard to see behind me. I got it more for photography, but I figured I'd try it with the video stuff. Why not? And that was a look at all of the gear that I use to make these videos and do my live streams. If you have any questions about something I maybe didn't cover in too much detail or didn't even cover at all, leave your questions down in the comments. And if you like this video, be sure to like it. Subscribe if you're not already. I put up new videos every week. I also stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Friday at 7:15 p.m. Link to that will be down in the bio. And with all that out of the way, I'll catch you in the next video.